What's going on, guys, and welcome to a new playthrough. And this is well, you probably know what this game is by reading the title, but once we see Link riding on the horse, yeah, such an iconic intro. But this is The Legend of Zelda: Ocarina of Time. This won the fan vote, so this is gonna be played next. Now, I did try to do this playthrough like a year ago, but I didn't think it was very good, so I scrapped it. Now we're gonna actually do this proper, and I'm playing on the N64 version instead of the 3DS version because I can't really capture the 3DS version. I would have done the 3DS version if I had ways to capture 3DS games. I will say right off the bat, there are some things about the 64 version that have not aged the best, so I would say right off the bat, even though I'm not gonna go like full on Aaron Hansen and criticize this game, if you want the definitive Ocarina of Time experience, just simply play the 3DS version anyways. So let's actually get this started. So I actually have a spear file. So this file right here was when I practiced for that initial playthrough a year ago. But I am actually currently practicing on the 3DS version. So let's just name ourselves nothing more special than just Link. So yeah. My first playthrough was Majora's Mask. It was only a matter of time before I also got to Ocarina of Time. So, and keep in mind, I'm also playing a revision A version of Ocarina of Time, the Gold Cart, and there's differences between that as well. So I'll point some of those out. I'll also point differences between the 64 version and the 3DS version, including the first one being the text moves a lot slower in the 64 version. In the vast deep forest of Hyrule, long have I served as the guardian spirit. I am known as the Deku Tree. The children of the forest, the Kokiri, live here with me. Each Kokiri is his or her own guardian fairy. However, there is one boy who does not have a fairy. And this kind of foreshadows later in the game. So basically there's a horse, and then there's a Link, and the horse gallops past, and Zelda, and then it's none other than Ganondorf on his own horse. And then yeah, that's kind of Link's nightmare. It also kind of foreshadows later in the game. Navi, where art thou? Come hither. Oh, Navi the fairy, listen to my words, the words of the Deku Tree. Dost thou sense it, the climate of evil descending upon this realm? Malevolent forces even now are mustering to attack our land of Hyrule. For so long, the Kokiri Forest, the source of life, has stood as a barrier deterring outsiders and maintaining the order of the world. But before this tremendous evil power, even my powers as nothing. It seems my time has come for the boy without a fairy to begin his journey. The youth whose destiny it is to lead Hyrule the path of justice and truth. Navi, go now. Find our young friend and guide him to me. I do not have much time left. Fly, Navi, fly. The fate of the forest may depend on the world upon thee. So yeah. This is also a first-person view that's seen a lot of N64 games from this period, like Mario 64, Banjo-Kazooie, and a couple others as well, so I like Navi's like, hey, can I get you down? And then Navi's probably like to this kid, like, why are you humping this rock? And then Navi goes, hey, look, there's Link's house. And then she goes and then hits her head on the wall. She can probably fit through that wall, and she does actually. So she got too excited and she just flew into the friggin' wall. And hello, Link, wake up. The great Deku Tree wants me to talk to you. Let's Link get up. Hey, come on! Can Hyrule's destiny really depend on such a lazy boy? You finally woke up. I'm Navi, the fairy. The Great Deku Tree asked me to be your partner from now on. Nice to meet you. The Great Deku Tree has summoned you. Let's get going right now. So yeah, basically, now we're finally controlling Link. So once we go outside of our house. And this is gonna be an important character in the game, but she says, "Yahoo! Hi, Link." And we go and talk to her. We go and talk to her quickly. Wow, a fairy! Finally, a fairy came to you, Link. Wow, that's great news. I'm so happy for you. Now you're a true Kokiri, Link. Is that right? The Great Deku Tree has summoned you. It's quite an honor to talk to the Great Deku Tree. I'll wait for you here. Just get going. Go see the Great Deku Tree. However, if we try to go see the Great Deku Tree, however, we'll just kind of demonstrate this. Well, hold on. We'll kind of demonstrate what happens when we get to the Great Deku Tree, because the Great Deku Tree is actually this way. However, there is a Kokiri kid blocking it, so... Hey you, Mr. No Fairy, what's your business with the Great Deku Tree? Without a fairy, you're not even a real man. What? You've got a fairy? Say what? The Great Deku Tree actually summoned you? What? Why would he summon you and not the Great Mido? This isn't funny. I don't believe it. You aren't even fully equipped yet. How do you think you're going to help the Great Deku Tree without both a sword and shield ready? What? You're right. I don't have my equipment ready, but if you want us to pass through here, you should at least equip a sword and shield. Sheesh. So yeah, we have to get a sword and shield. However, a shield is 40 rupees at the Kokiri shop, so we have to go and kind of go and find some rupees. So, and look at Navi. At least she says, "The Great Deku Tree has summoned you. Please come with me." So yeah, the problem is, Navi, we just talked about to Mido, and we can't actually go into the Great Deku Tree. So yeah, Navi is one that will give advice, and I will say it is a helpful tool like your first time playing through, but like when you're a veteran player of this game, like the Navi is the butt of a lot of jokes, mainly because like if you're a veteran player of this game, she can be particularly annoying. So Navi's more like a tutorial. So now there should be some rupees in one of these rocks. I might be thinking of the 3DS version, but there should be at least something. Why are there not any rupees? Like, I might be thinking of the 3DS for, yeah, there's just no rupees. And, yeah, there's no rupees in there, so let's talk to him. A by the stone, pick it up. A by the stone, pick it up. Mean old Mido, he made me pick up the rocks in front of his house, so yeah, unfortunately, though, there wasn't any rupees. I'm thinking of the 3DS version where they put rupees in there. So now let's actually, here's one of my favorite things to actually, let's pick up this rock. No rupees. And if actually in this place is, House of the Great Mido, boss here. Let's rob his house, actually. This is one of my favorite things to do in the early game. Rob his house, and we get a green rupee. That's 1 rupee. And we get a blue rupee. That's 5 rupees. And also another blue rupee, and I think there's actually not a rupee in here. If I can even open the damn chest, it's a heart. So yeah, we just gotta. One great thing you can do also is you can kind of if you leave a house and come back, this blue rupee over here will respawn. So now we actually almost have enough to get the shields. So what we'll do is we'll get hold on. We can get off this bridge and get a rupee, and there's actually gonna be a rupee inside the shop, so by then we'll have enough for the shield. Let's actually talk to this Kokiri lady. Did Link just fall down? He came all the way up here, you're a real map. Maybe I didn't, lady. Look, isn't this view pretty? Change your viewpoint and super. I fell off the friggin' thing! I've never seen that happen before. You learn something new every day, so... Hi, Link, look this way. Look over here with Z and talk to me with A. And, yes, that's how you use a fairy. It's so great that you can finally have a fairy partner. I'll teach you how to talk to the people using your fairy. So when the fairy flies near a person or thing, press Z to look in that direction. If you use Z targeting, you can talk to people from a distance, like we're doing now. When you have nothing that you can target, you can press Z just to look for and try it. So yeah, now we're gonna go inside the Kokiri shop, and there's actually a blue rupee over here. So now we have enough for the shield, and this is the Deku shield once equipped, but if it's set on fire, it will burn, so that's more thing later, so. We are, however, going to get an upgraded shield a little bit later, but yeah, so the Deku shield is essentially the wooden shield. It is a bit of a tradition also in 3D Zelda to start with a really bad thing, because Twilight Princess also has a wooden shield if it gets set on fire, so I think Skyward Sword does as well, so. Granted, Breath of the Wild and Tears of the Kingdom completely kind of changed the format of 3D Zelda also. So yeah, unfortunately though, we don't have a sword yet. So what we're gonna have to do is we're gonna have to try to crawl into this thing over here. Hold on. Okay, there's a blue rupee, there's a green rupee, and come on. Oh, there's no rupee? Alright, so yeah. We crawl into this thing over here if we can freaking crawl into the place. So, hey! Alright, there we go. So we crawl into this place, and this is where we get the sword. And I think there should be other blue rupees. They give you a lot of rupees early on, but we can only carry up to 99 rupees. And there's gonna be, this will be 100% playthrough also, meaning all heart pieces, all Skulltulas, and all upgrades. So, so this will be 100%, but with the Skulltulas, we will, which we'll go into later, we will be able to get upgraded rupees, so. And we now get the Kokiri sword on the equipment subscreen. Select it with the cursor and equip it with A. This is a hidden treasure of the Kokiri, but you can borrow it for a while. I guess we're borrowing for the rest. We never actually returned the Kokiri sword, so I guess that's for the rest of the game. So yeah, basically this is also, I guess A Link to the Past is the first Zelda we can do this, but much like A Link to the Past, you can basically cut weeds and get rupees. So if you don't have full health, the rupees will often contain like hearts and all that. So but if you have full health, the hearts contain would be a rupee. It'll be make more sense later, but so yeah, we actually already have 24 rupees. So 25 rupees. So now we can actually go straight to Mido and try to see if we can go see the Great Deku Tree. So I wonder if that blue rupee responds from jumping. No, it doesn't. I guess we have to actually go into one of the buildings. So now we're gonna go see Mido. If you want to see the Great Deku Tree, you should at least equip a sword and shield. And what's that? Oh, you have a Deku shield? And what's that? Is that the Kokiri sword? Good grief. Well, even with all that stuff, a wimp is still a wimp, huh? I, the great Mido, will never accept you as one of us. Shoot, how did you get to be the favorite of Saria and the Great Deku Tree, huh? Grumble, grumble. So yeah, basically, and on top of that, these are now our first enemies. These are, if we can actually, these are Deku Babas. And if we kill them in this form, we'll get Deku Sticks. Now, I'll go into more of this later, but Deku Sticks are one of the most powerful items you can get as a young Link. So, because they act like a sword, however, they have double the power of the Kokiri sword. I'll go into more of this later. Great Deku Tree, I'm back. Oh, Navi, thou hast returned. Link, welcome. Listen carefully to what I, the Deku Tree, am about to tell thee. Thy slumber these past moons must have been restless and full of nightmares. As the servants of evil gain strength, a vile climate pervades in the land and causes nightmares to those sensitive to it. Verily, I vow have felt it. Link, the time has come to test thy courage. I have been cursed. I need you to break the curse with your wisdom and courage. Dost thou have courage enough to undertake this task? Yes. Then enter, brave Link, and thou too, Navi. Navi the fairy, thou must aid Link. And Link, when Navi speaks, use C up to listen well to words of wisdom. So yeah, we're gonna go inside the Great Deku Tree now, and we'll just roll, and then and this is the first dungeon in the game inside the Deku Tree. So I'll cut it off for this part of the Legend of Zelda: Ocarina of Time. So next time in the Legend of Zelda: Ocarina of Time, we're gonna go inside the Deku Tree. See you guys then.